Hey you guys, it's ArynAlexandria and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome as well. We always love newbies, and if you like my channel, make sure you subscribe. So what this video is about today is just another girl talk video, and the topic is how to deal with conflict with one of your really good friends without drama included. So as always, I'm going to tell you guys a story, so it could be on a personal level, and then I have 5 tips at the end of the video to help how to communicate with a friend without it being drama included. So let's get started. There has been times where there has been a communication breakdown with me and my friends on many, trust me, many occasions. And sometimes, well, most of the time, it's my fault because I don't talk about the problem right then and there. I usually just keep it to myself and let it simmer on high, and then it gets out of control, and then it's just, so that's not good. And so the story that I'm going to tell you is the time that I went to Orlando with a friend because it was her birthday and it was Halloween Horror Nights. So let's just get into the story. So my friend invited me to go with her to Orlando for her birthday for Halloween Horror Nights, and I've never gone before. This is my first time going since I moved to Florida, but in Atlanta I used to go to Halloween haunted houses all the time. I can't talk. But this was my first time in Florida, so I was like, sure, of course, yeah. We got the fast pass and the ticket. Everything was good. Boom, 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 boom. We drove down there with her family, and it was really good. It was nice. And so when we got in, we was like, oh my gosh, like it's a lot of cute boys here, if you know what I'm saying. And so it was these 2 boys in particular that walked past us, and she was like, oh my gosh, Aryn, they're like so cute. And I wasn't really paying attention to them because I was kind of eating a turkey leg. So she went over there to grab their attention, and they hung out with us for the rest of the night. And it was just kind of awkward for me because my friend is like really pretty, and so they were kind of focused on her, and I was just kind of like left by myself, and I felt like a fourth wheel basically, and it was just awkward for me like the whole entire night. Like I really couldn't have a good time, but I was trying to make sure she was happy. I was like, what do you want to do? It's your day. Just trying to be a really good friend. And I was just kind of getting irritated because she was all booed up on this one guy, and then she wanted me to talk to the other guy, but obviously the other guy wasn't really interested, so I just kind of kept my distance from him. And when we went into the haunted house, we went into the, which one was it? It was 3 of them, I think. We went into the, I can't remember right now, but it'll pop in my head and then I'll tell you guys what haunted house we went into. So it was a long line, even for the fast pass line. It was just ridiculous. It was like an hour and 20-minute wait to get into the haunted house, even with the fast pass. And so as we were waiting, you know, she was booed up with one boy, and I was trying to talk to the other guy, not in like a, ooh, what's your name type of way, just casual conversation, but that was just a hot ratchet mess. Anyway, so we finally got in the line, and then I asked him if I'm scared, is it okay if I like hold on to you, because I didn't want to like just bum rush him and just like be like, yeah. He'd be like, what is going on? Yeah. So we got in there, and like of course I got a little frightened, but I'm not really scared of, I don't know, things that pop out at you. You kind of know what you expect. You kind of know what to expect when you're going into a haunted house, if you know what I mean. People jumping out at you, lights flickering on and off, the same old stuff as always. And so I kind of got spooked at one point, and I kind of grabbed him, and he kind of like shrugged off of me, and I was just like, sorry bro. It was just in my head, I was just like, that's kind of awkward. Oh, I'm uncomfortable now. And so I was getting mad towards the end of the whole entire night because I was just getting irritated because it was supposed to be me and her originally, and we were supposed to have a good time, but then it ended up being her, 2 guys, and then oh, there's Aryn on the side, and I felt like I said earlier in the story, a fourth wheel. So as we were walking back to the car, she was like, Aryn, what is your problem? And I was just like, nothing's my problem. And that's when, I mean, when it was a communication breakdown, that's when I have a problem with expressing how I feel towards people, because I'm just not really good at telling people how I feel right then and there. And so she wanted me to spend the night that night, but I was just so over it. I was just like, I'm done. I want to go home. And plus it was like a 3, I think Orlando from Jacksonville is like a 3-hour drive. And so I was just ready to go, and I was making sure I was awake so they wouldn't take me to their house. Look, girl, I was just having problems. So we eventually got in my area, and I asked her dad, are you making sure you take me home? And he said, yeah, of course. And she was like, why aren't you staying? And I was just like, I just want to go home. And so I think I didn't talk to her for a couple of days because I was just really peed off about the whole entire situation, because I'm just like, it was supposed to be me and you, but you're booed up on this other guy, making me feel like a fourth wheel. And plus, on top of that, I feel like she was treating me like I was a 3-year-old. And like, she's the oldest of 3 siblings, and so I guess she's used to like saying, oh, come on, do you have to use the bathroom, are you okay? Like, she kept asking me, was I okay, like every 5 minutes. And I hate being questioned a lot. I know it's kind of weird, but I just hate it. I just hate when people treat me like I'm not on their level, mature wise. It was just irritating me. So I was just so, basically the moral of that, like the whole Orlando thing, I was just over it, and I just wanted to go home. And I think I didn't talk to her for a couple of days, and it was just, I don't know. She wrote me a long message talking about, Aryn, what is your problem? I don't understand why you're mad at me. What did I do? And I always feel like she tries to make me feel like the bad guy, and usually I'm always the one fixing the situation. I'm always saying sorry, or I'm just trying to talk to them or make that first effort. And it was just, I was just annoyed. So the moral of that story is, make sure when something's wrong with you, or something's wrong with your friend, you make sure you talk right then and there. You don't let that simmer, and then you let that boil, you marinate it like some chicken for a little bit, and then you start thinking about it, and you're just like, and then you get even more mad about the situation, and then it kind of just blows out of proportion. So yeah. So here are the 5 facts that I have to help you guys with confrontation with a really good friend. Number 1, think about whether this needs to be said right now in this moment. Sometimes the opportunity will be missed. If not, in my case, I felt needed to bring the subject up right then, or I might not have gotten the nerve again. I went for it, but it could have gone better if I waited to form a well-organized idea for what I wanted to say. Hold off on the confrontation if you feel the time is not right. There is a marked difference in avoiding a hard topic and thoughtfully planning the ideal time to have a potential difficult conversation. Number 2, consider if you have a good handle on your emotions. Also, consider if you have the proper perspective to deal with the potential consequences. Email, text, and cell phone calls are not an ideal way to introduce the need to talk about something substantial. Number 3, listen more than you talk. If it's fine to be heard, but if you're not listening to the other person's response, the discussion is pointless. Number 4, avoid adding unnecessary drama. These things never help to fix a problem and ultimately bring more hurt to all involved. These include yelling, threatening to cut off the friendship, name calling, and personal attacks. If it comes to that, walk away, breathe, take a step back, and allow some time before you try again. And number 5, take a realistic assessment of your true feelings in that moment. I tend to distort and add unnecessary nonsense to the words that others say when I am upset. This has caused me a great deal of distress in past conflicts. I am not on the wrong page, but in the wrong book, sometimes metaphorically speaking. After such experiences, I find that other person saying, how do you come to the conclusion from what I said? This is a classic example of our ability to inflict the worst hurts upon ourselves. If I realize that I am upset and I try to hear the words being said to me as they are, without my running mental commentary, things come across much clearer. I hope these tips helped you guys out there, and if you have any questions or comments, make sure you just leave them down in the comment section down below. And before I close this video, I have a little quote. It says, remember, when you forgive, you heal your own anger and hurts and are able to let love lead again. It is like spring cleaning for your heart. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and really let that sink into your mind, your brain cells. So until next time, you guys, stay happy, be positive, and love life.